like showboating then, and I joined in. I was like, yeah, they're doing it for me.
I'm dancing. Yeah. Hi. Wow, so many people.
Welcome to the loveliest audiences ever.
It really is. You guys have been so great. Thank you for being so welcoming. Like, first time at a con here, you know, so I'm really excited.
Really? First time in Belgium?
First time in Belgium.
Oh.
First time in Belgium.
Highlights?
Highlights, yesterday I took a day trip to Amsterdam. I took a day trip to Amsterdam. The highlights of here are the market, the fairs.
Oh yeah, the big wheel, did you know that?
But you guys have so many cities nearby. Like in America, my neighbor, like people are like, oh, you don't want to go to Amsterdam, that's like a 2-hour drive. And I was like, that's my neighbor in America. Like when you go from LA to San Diego, it's a 2-hour drive. And if you go from LA to New York, it's a 6-hour flight. So here, I'm like, you guys have everything. You have Bruges, you have Brussels, you have Amsterdam, you have Holland within driving distance, which I was like, that's incredible. So good job.
Well evolved. Well evolved. Have you done the classics yet? Have you had frites?
I've had frites for every meal. Somehow they sneak into your every meal.
Yeah. You peel banana and it's just...
Yeah, just a free. Yeah. I was going, my omelet, I was like, that's free.
Yeah. It's the dream for me.
Mayonnaise on everything.
Mayonnaise on everything. I asked for a glass of water.
I'm going to get some now.
Yeah.
Oh, this is lovely. It's not your first time in Europe though, is it?
No. I was in London last year, visiting Kayvon, who plays Nandor in What We Do in the Shadows. So we went to visit him last year in London. So that was fun. Yeah, I love coming to Europe. It's just so far from me in America.
Yeah, I mean, it's ridiculous. Again, I'm amazed any of you are awake when you're here. It would be like the middle of the night for you then.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy. But I do love it. Nothing compares to your architecture. It's just beautiful, and it's just, the people are lovely, and yeah, the food's amazing, so yeah.
Have you seen the pissing boy yet?
The what? The what?
The famous pissing boy.
No.
It's a statue. It's a very famous
I haven't seen it.
water fountain. Yeah.
How come no one's talking about the pissing boy?
Yeah.
How come? All right.
It's funny because sometimes we have guests here.
Who are pissing?
Just pissing in the street. And they'll swear or something, and then they go, oh my goodness, I'm sorry. They're the nicest crowds here in Brussels. But also, you guys will just swear in English as if it means nothing. And it's so funny, and I'm always like, they're not offended. This is part of their lexicon.
There's the pissing boy over there.
Yeah.
You should see the shitting girl.
What? Wait, what?
No,
it's live right now.
Yeah, it's horrific. It's only one person allowed at a time, and it's eye contact all the way through.
No! Stop looking at me!
Oh, God. But yeah, welcome. I mean, I'm guessing a few of you want us to ask about a little phenomenon called What We Do in the Shadows. Yeah.
You named two different things.
I was like, which one?
Oh yeah, we should take what people, because I'm always surprised when someone comes and excuse me, are you from? I always let them finish a sentence and never assume. And like I was, yesterday I was somewhere and someone was like, supposed to be like 19 or something. So excuse me, I was like, oh, he's gonna say Shadows. And he goes, are you from the Thundermans? And I was like, the Thundermans. It's a show like Nickelodeon.
Oh yes, sorry. I thought you said Thunderbirds, which is a British show. And I was like, they're puppets.
That's me. And so you never know what someone's watching you from, so we're always curious. So we should do so who's a What We Do in the Shadows fan? Who's a Puss in Boots, The Last Wish fan? What other one should I do?
You do a lot of voiceover work as well.
Oh yeah, Harley Quinn. Who's a Harley Quinn? Nightwing, I play Nightwing on that. In the upcoming film Garfield, I play Odie. Who's a Garfield fan? Okay,
I was going to ask you about that, because what a job to get.
Right! Oh, so that's a funny story. So because I did Puss in Boots, The Last Wish, the producers at Sony, we had a Zoom meeting and they all got together like, Harvey, we want to say you did such an amazing job with Perrito, he's so sweet and endearing, and we'd like to offer you Odie, the dog. And I was like, oh my God, I keep getting dog roles. And they were like, yes. So I was like, okay, that's really cool. Wait, doesn't Odie not speak in the cartoon? Exactly. We would like for you to be Odie. I was like, but he doesn't talk. Bingo. And I was like, so you, what, oh sorry, what do you want me to do?
Yeah.
And they're like, we like you to be Odie, but we want someone to be able to, you know, emote feelings like frustration, anger at Garfield, like laughing at Garfield. And I was like, without words. And I was like, yeah, without words. I was like, but okay. So it was me in the booth for an hour going, just like over and over. They're like, thank you. You got it, you nailed it. And I was like, yeah, that was the sweetest gig.
It's a lot of weird jobs to get, but amazing.
Yeah, they even said, the producer was like, is this the weirdest thing you've ever done? And I was like, it's up there. It's up there.
Did you go method?
Yeah, I did go method. Yeah, I totally went. Like I was living a dog like for a year.
You live in that cat named lasagna.
I hung out with a cat day after day. I'm just really committed.
Don't worry about Harvey, he's just marking his territory.
Harvey Guillén, the producer's like, you don't need to do this.
No, I'll continue to do it. Throw me a ball.
They have to put down newspaper every time.
Harvey, the studio is ruined. You're just like that pissing boy, that statue. You're peeing everywhere. But so it's always fun to find out when everyone's, everything. But it seems like shadow seems to be kind of, the thing here, so yeah.
Also, you are the thing. We want to hear about you.
Oh, right.
Yeah. What's your favorite thing to do?
Well, I've got a question to ask, because you said playing Odie and Garfield is up there with the strangest roles you've done.
Yeah.
What are the other ones?
What are the other ones? I think early on in your career, there's two jobs that you're like, I don't know, but I got rent to pay. And sometimes it's a good job, you're like, this is early in my career. Like, I remember doing I think it was a film that it never saw the light of day actually, where the script was terrible, and you're like, this is really bad. And it's like, does anyone else think this is bad? And it's like, no, it's funded, so it must be good. It's like, it's being produced, so it must be good. Yeah. And I was like, I don't know. It's just like, it doesn't make the time lapse, there's like the continuity, and they're like, Harvey, shut up. Just like things like that, but no, that's strange. It was there's been moments, but I think Odie was fun, It's strange in a way that I had to be in the recording studio for an hour going,
it's a great credit though.
Odie! There's a poster. Someone sent me a poster that's in Hollywood Boulevard. It was like, Harvey Guillén as Odie, and it's a picture, Odie, from Garfield. It's iconic,
Do you ever get those moments where you think, oh, I wish I could tell my childhood self this?
Yes! Because I grew up watching Garfield, and Odie I had the plushie, the actual Odie plushie growing up. So to look at that and be like, you know what? Anything's possible. All our dreams are possible. Anything you dream of, you can do it. Literally go out and get it. Try your best. What's stopping us?
I love that that's your childhood dream. I want to be this dog.
I want to be this dog. Yeah. Yeah, that is how I started into acting. I was watching Annie. Do you guys remember that Annie, the movie, the 1984 version, I think, that was on TV? They play that in America every Christmas. So every Christmas they play it, and I was 6. My mom, single mom, we're very poor. So I was watching TV one day, and I was like, oh my God, these kids, they're singing and dancing, and they're all. We don't have the rights to that. We can't sing the full song.
And now doing the whole of Annie.
No, but I was watching what I thought was a TV show. I didn't think it was a movie. We didn't go to cinema. We didn't go to theater. So I was like, oh, this new TV show where these kids are poor and they're singing and dancing. And I asked my mom, I was like, Mom, I want to be that when I grow up. I want to be an orphan. And she looked at me like, ¿qué? ¿Estás loco? And I'm translating, are you crazy? And I was like, no, I want to be, son actores, they're actors. And I was like, I want to be an actor when I grow up. And that's how I got the idea. From wanting to be an orphan.
Yeah. So I killed my parents. But when did you start acting?
I started acting in school plays when I was about 8 or 9. I remember my teacher, we did an original Christmas show, and they were like, we want you to be the boy, the lead. And I was like, and this is so weird, but in the script there was a character for a dog. And I was like, I want to be the dog. And
That felt like a breakthrough therapy moment.
yeah, it did. I was like, oh my god, it all makes sense. Thank you, doctors.
Do you want to lie down?
I really thought I want to be the dog because he gets to jump on furniture, run around, run a muckus. They're like, no, you don't have lines. And I was like, that's okay. It's like, you're the only boy who wants to do this. Like, you know, and the only boy who wants to do acting. You should get the role that has the lines. And I fought for the dog role, and they were like, okay, and they gave the role to someone else. I like fought for this role because he got to like jump around and stuff. And then like the kid who did the boy role, no one remembered him.
yeah. The reviews are like,
The reviews were like,
they're not a great show, but the dog.
yeah,
That
dog stood out. That other boy went nowhere. So I feel bad for him, you know. But we
There's
helped.
somewhere out there there's a boy who's like, yeah, well, I got a lead role and he had to play a dog.
He played a dog. Yeah, but that's when I started. I started acting when I was in elementary school, and I didn't do professional stuff like until around after high school. Is high school the same here, or is it like?
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, okay. I know that like in Canada they say grade 7, grade 6. You say 7th grade, 8th grade.
The code, yeah.
It's too hard. So I did like musicals and stuff, and my first paying gig was doing a musical in Japan. So I was.
What?
Yeah. So I got out of school, and I was mid-semester in the second year, and I auditioned for this show in Japan, and I got it. And I went to the dean, and I was like, I got the show. They're like, don't take it. And I was like, what? Like, you're not ready. I was like, it sounds like I'm ready, because the whole point of this school isn't the point of going to school to get a job when you get out with your degree. And I was like, I already have the job. And they're like, just turn it down. You're not ready. You still have 2 more years of school. And I was like, or I go now and get paid and do what I love now. And they're like, no, don't do it. And I was like, okay, I'll think about it. I moved to Japan for 13 months.
Wow.
Wow.
Yeah, but I got there and I didn't know that the script was in Japanese. So they gave me the script and I was like, oh no, I think this is the wrong script. This was a Japanese, sorry. They're like, hi, we open in 2 weeks. And I was like, we open in 2 weeks? This is Japanese. And I was like, you're in Japan. And I was like, but I auditioned with an English song. And they're like, right, now we know you can do it. And I was like, oh, so.
This sounds like a nightmare.
Well, I also thought this was like how showbiz runs. So I was like, just pull your pants together, like, you know, like.
So was it just that it was written in Japanese, or was it Japanese language so you had to learn?
No, everything was Japanese. So the musical was Wicked, the musical. Yeah, so I got to do it, and like I did Wicked and the Sesame Street Live and Blues Brothers, and only one contract in 13 months.
What a cutthroat trilogy.
Yeah, it was just like, so I started as like the Sesame Street kid in Sesame Street, the American boy who was 13, and I was like, I'm 13, and then I moved on to Blues Brothers, Jake Blues was like 30, was singing rock and roll, and then this is the worst part, I swung in for the wizard in Wicked, with a white wig and makeup. So I mean, if that's not like showing range.
And so how old were you again?
I was like 21.
So 21 playing a 13-year-old, a 30-year-old,
And a 56-year-old.
Wow.
All in one. And I was like, acting. That's what actors do. But to this day, when I hear, you know, does anyone know Wicked, the musical? Yeah. Woo! Like 2 people. Like, there's a song he sings, Sentimental Man, that to this day I cannot hear without going to autopilot Japanese like version of it.
Really?
Yeah, so whenever it comes to like, if I hear it like play anywhere, I'm like, no.
Yeah, they want to hear you sing it.
Don't.
Okay, but you didn't watch the musical, so you wouldn't know what song it was. Who watched the musical? Raise your hand again. Oh, now everyone watched the musical? Now everyone watched it. Everyone wants me to sing the song. They're like, we watch a musical.
Yeah.
It was
Who's
a,
here?
it was
Because they
a,
saw Harvey in Japanese Wicked.
it was a, I am a sentimental man. 心優しい男さ。だからいつも自分のベーシックしたいと思う。So what about my no力どう That one. It's just Japanese. It was so cool.
How did you must have a good language brain, like language brain.
Yeah, it was just like, the only part I really remember in the English version was like, for I am a sentimental man, that part, and that's the only part they left in English. So I was like, I know that part. I know that part. And then I had to learn the rest. But the vowels are pretty close to Spanish. I speak Spanish.
Yeah.
So, like A-E-I-O-U, A-E-I-O-U. So like phonetically, the way it's spelled out sounds like I would be speaking a Spanish word. So you say, watashi wa Harvey desu, like yoroshiku, like phonetically, like the way that it's spelled is pretty close to like the way I would spell it in Spanish.
And
So-
everything you're saying to me makes sense, but all my brain is going, in 2 weeks.
In 2 weeks.
How
So
did you do
I just, they had like a dialect coach who was like, for Sesame Street, it's like, minasan, koko wa kinita. It's like the inflection, because also what you're saying is so different. Like, I'm like, what am I saying here? Like, you're saying, and little things get lost in translation. You're saying everyone's having a good time, fun for everyone. And I was like, okay, yeah, but what about here? And they're like, here, like, so it was translating things that I was like, okay, you have to make sense to the show. And you have to remember where the show this goes and why you're saying that, So in Wicked it was a little bit easier because you know the story and I love the show, so I knew it. But in Sesame Street, since I didn't know the story, they were like, so here, you're a little bit sad because you're like, what are we gonna do? We were trying to play, but we lost the toy, or something like that. And you're like, so many things to go
This
into.
is so many levels is blowing my mind. First job,
Yeah, first job.
so like learning all the ropes,
Yeah.
literally learning all the
Yeah, but I also thought this was Hollywood. Like, this is not Hollywood, but like showbiz, Like, I thought this is what it is. You want to go? It's just like, I was like fresh out of school, so I was like, this is what it takes to do this. This is what it takes.
in those 13 months, how many phone calls went to mum with like, I can't do this?
You know
Or were
what's so
actually
weird?
alright?
I try to keep it together. Like, I'm a Taurus. I just celebrated my birthday like a week ago. Actually, we wrapped What We Do in the Shadows the night of my birthday.
Oh, I
like,
saw it.
Yeah, so at 11:30 p.m. we wrapped, which Matt Berry's birthday is on May 2nd, so we celebrated his birthday. And then midnight, we were still on set, we had wrapped, everyone's crying, we're done with the show, we're never coming back. And someone goes, it's your birthday! I'm like, it's my birthday. And it was really nice. So it was like the ending of a chapter, and the starting of like another, turnaround song kind of thing.
I mean, we are going to talk about it because I'm a huge fan of What We Do in the Shadows. Like, the amount of times I go, Guillermo! To my wife, all the time.
You're getting
What a
divorced.
show.
They're getting divorced.
What a show to get involved. Like, the film was incredible.
Yeah.
Yeah, had you seen the film when you auditioned?
No, I had not seen the film, and someone, what's so funny, because it was on queue to watch on Amazon, like online, and I was at home, like watching TV, like doing nothing. My friend Mimi texted me, she said, hey, you should come see my baby. I had a baby, and now I'm at my brother's house, and I'm here for the weekend only. And her name is Mimi Michaels, and she's a great person and human being. I hadn't seen her in a while. And she's like, come to the wine and cheese night. And I was like, do I have to put pants on? Just like that kind of idea. And she's like, yeah, you do. I was like, oh, the phone's still on. And then so I got dressed and went over, and it was her husband, the baby, her brother, and a girl I never met before. Her name was Yvonne. And so we had like a wine and cheese night, and it was really fun. And the next day, like I got a text from an unknown number. Hey, I think you're really effing funny. I don't want to say the word because I think there's kicking out if I see kids. There's effing, you're really effing funny. You should audition for my fiance's new show. And I'm like, not falling for that again, Hollywood.
All right, when in Japan?
Yeah.
It's a one-person show, eye contact.
Yeah,
all
like,
the way
oh
through.
God, it's like all over again. But so I was like, sure. What are you talking about? She's like, this is the show called What We Do in the Shadows. And I was like, the movie? And they were like, well, yeah, like the movie, but you have to hurry. They've already cast everyone except for this role. And I was like, okay. So I asked my agent, can I get an audition for this, or what is this? And they're like, no, you're too young for the role. Guillermo was 25 years older. So I was too young for Guillermo. And I was like, oh, well, she told me. Who told you? This girl at a party? And she's like, what's her name? Yvonne. What's her last name? Okay. Okay. Yvonne, what's your last name? And then I was like, it was so, word of mouth, and like, so someone like, a little bit of nepotism because I met, the producer's fiance at this party, and she's like, no, you should audition, I'll make a call. And she made a call because I wasn't right for the role. I was younger than Guillermo was supposed to
So
be.
you were like, I played a 56-year-old.
Yeah, I don't think you you know my resume? Yeah, that's exactly what I do. That's what everyone in Hollywood likes to hear. Don't you know who I think I am? And so I got the audition. It was a complimentary audition. It was just me in an office, and I was there to see Allison Jones. And if you know Allison Jones, big casting director. She's cast like everything, like The Office, The Bridesmaids, everything that you've loved on TV and film. She's cast. So I was like, oh, if anything, I'll go make a good impression with Allison. So I get there, and I try to age myself out, which I usually don't like do, like just a character. But for Guillermo, I was like, you know when he's older, I'm gonna find this nasty sweater vest and a long sleeve shirt. Oh, and I found some Harry Potter glasses, and I popped out the lenses, and I was like, what does his hair look like? So I was at my writing partner, Jamie's house, Jamie Holt, and like, I saw a picture of a Monsters anthology book that was Guillermo del Toro's. And then I looked to the bottom, and his name's Guillermo, and he had glasses, and he had his hair parted in the middle. So I copied his hairdo for my audition, like Guillermo del Toro, and I curled it. I was like, no one would ever look like this on television. And I went in, I auditioned with the look, and I was like, I'm just trying to make it stand out, you know? And I got there, and I was like, I'm here to see Allison Jones. And they're like, she's not here. And I was like, no, I met a girl at a party. I met a girl at a party, so I think she's here. Like, no, she's auditioning Guillermo's in London. And I was like, what exactly? Keep it down. And so literally it was like, what? No, I'm supposed to audition for Allison. I'm supposed to meet her. And then literally I felt like I was just like stabbed in the heart. Like I was like, oh no, I want to meet her. I was like, I don't know.
I think we just have to wait for the rest of the test.
They're announcing that there will be
They just announce me, they just escort me into the room. What? No! So anyways, I met Ben, the assistant, and so I was so upset, they put the microphone on my lapel, like, I'll just talk louder. It's fine, I'll talk louder too! I can talk louder! So they put the lapel on me, like, you know, the little microphone, and it was one of those moments as an actor, you just like fall into a character, because when I was done with the audition, I like looked up, and I looked at Ben, and Ben's Harvey, and I go, yeah, he's like, we're done. And I go, oh, thank you. And I walked out, like, oh my God, what did I do, because I didn't remember anything. And then I walk out of the door, and he goes, Harvey, wait! And I go, oh! And then I go, you're going to Hollywood! But he's the microphone. Thank you. And I walked out, my agent's like, how'd you do? And I was like, I don't know. And it's like, I just fell into like, I really like, you know, but I was too young for the role, so like an hour later they had shown it to Taika, Jermaine, Paul, everyone at FX. They had all voted unanimously, and she had seen it, the cast director Allison had seen it in London, and they had all voted unanimously to test me with Kalon. They were like, he's too young for the role, but he's the wild card. So then, like terminology, Hollywood wild card is like, you're not right for the role, but if we can't find anyone close to what we want, we'll think about you.
I think sometimes also it's more like, oh, you've embodied that character more than we even imagined.
Yeah, that's a great way to put it. Yeah. And I think, I made a career out of being a wild card. Like if you look at my resume, half of the things that I booked were never written for me, ever. Like characters were not written for me in my like age, height, body type, everything. Half of the stuff I did was wild card. Like I walked in, they're like, yeah, I like that. Hold that for 1 second, and I'm gonna go over here. And then people come back and they're like, why can't you be like that? You know? So I'm gonna credit that. And so I was like, I'm gonna test with Kalon. I'm gonna test with them. And they're like, yeah, you're gonna test with them, but you're the wild card. Don't get excited. And so okay. So a couple weeks go by. I don't hear anything. And I know they start shooting on Tuesday, and this is Sunday night. And I haven't heard anything. And they haven't like told me anything. I was like, oh, this is terrible. And I was like, I didn't get it. And I was with my sister, and like I get a number from a 16-digit number call, and I kept ignoring it. And then finally I pick it up. He's like, pick up the phone. She got mad at me, and I picked the phone. And I went, hello. So, hey, is this Harvey? Yeah. Hey, it's Taika and Jermaine. Hi, I think I'm testing for you. No, you're not testing for us. Sorry. And he's like, oh, thank you so much for the opportunity. I wish you the best in your future endeavors. And he's like, no, you're the maid. You got it. And I was like, I got it? And he was like, yeah, we'll see you on set. And that's how I got the job.
Wow.
I love her. I know.
That's incredible. I couldn't imagine anyone else in that role now. Like, so I couldn't, especially not older, or I could sort of imagine a different version, but no one could play.
Yeah, I mean, what's meant for you is meant for you.
Yeah.
So I'm a big believer in that. So like, sometimes the universe is literally throwing you like, no, go through with it, and you'll be happy on the other side.
Amazing. I have just been told we are going to do a few audience questions. Thomas, have you got a mic? Have we got time, Thomas? We got 2 minutes, so we'll take a few questions. We weren't expecting. You have to wrestle in two minutes.
I gotta go, guys. I gotta wrestle.
Spider-Man.
But come down to the booth and say hi. We have a booth here, so come down and say hi.
If you've got a question, put your hand in the air.
Yeah, we'll get 2 or 3 questions and then I will, Thomas, you go there, I will come here.
I feel like
we've got a lovely little auction band here.
Hi.
I love your show.
Oh, thank you.
And I have a question. I wanted to know what Guillermo and you have in common. How close are you to your character?
One more time?
What do you have in common with Guillermo? How close are you to your character?
Oh, well, how close am I to Guillermo? I mean, I wish I was like, he's so forgiving. He's so sweet and endearing, and I have some qualities that I feel like I share with Guillermo. But man, they treat him like shit a lot, you know? And I just have no tolerance. Or if I see like someone being treated like shit, or there's something happening, I speak up. I feel like Guillermo's very like, it's okay, let's just take it. And it's like, no, I'd be like, what did you do? You know? So there's something that I would wish I had more of Guillermo was his patience. I have 0 patience. But yeah, I think I like to share that, and that he's really close to his family. Guillermo's really like his mom, remember that whole coming out episode. So I love my family, so I feel like I'm close to him that way. But I wish I had more of his patience.
But you can get rid of the body really well.
Yeah. Yeah.
But you're more stylish.
Yeah.
I've got to let this girl ask a question.
Oh yeah.
Here we go.
It's okay.
I think it was my face.
Yeah. Sorry.
We've had a moment of shyness now.
Yeah, she gets a little shy. Yeah, she wanted to ask if you have a pet and if that helped you prepare for your role of Odie and the other animal roles.
Oh, that's a very good question. You should not be shy with that question. That was a very good one. Yeah.
It's a great
Good
question.
Let's give her a round of applause. That was a really good question.
So do you have a pet?
My sister has 2 dogs, and since I travel a lot, I feel guilty being like that parent to an animal that would have to travel with the pet everywhere they go. And I think like an animal needs like a stable home, you know, like where like they need to like see recurring faces and whatnot. So I don't have a pet anymore. I did when I was little. I had a dog that was a Dalmatian, and his name was Pirata because he had a patch over his eye, which is Pirata means pirate in Spanish.
That's a good name.
Yeah. And then we had a Pomeranian as well, named Chico, which means little. So to get ready for the role, I actually watch my sister's dogs, like to get ready for like, I give them voices. So I have a voice for both of her dogs, because one of them is like really hyper. Picasso is one of her dogs and it's really hyper, so his voice to me is like, like it's over the top, energetic, and the other one is not as hyper, and so like Jax is more like a Picasso, please stop talking. Like it's like 2 different worlds. So I do that all the time, you know? So get ready with that. But really good question, yeah. And with Odie, I just got ready to like just make sound effects with my voice, which is really cool. Yeah, good question.
Yeah. Round of applause for that question, because the sweetest question we've had. We're getting a nod, we are going to have to let you go. Yeah, but we always get a picture with our guests if you're up for it, and with all you guys behind. So, you know what to do, Colin?